Welcome in, everyone, to DMV Rivals Week 3, wrapping up here on this Friday evening. My name is Shiv, and I am joined by my co-casters, Prone and Derive. You fools! You fell for it again! It's just me, again, back! You can't get rid of me. There's no hope, there's no escape. It's content quality down through the floor once again. But today, we're going to get into this game between the Kibble Crunchers? The Kibble Crunchers and the Pillars of Positivity. Both of these teams currently sitting at 0-2 in the Swiss stage. Would definitely like to get going with some momentum here. You know, the snow is really stacking up, has stacked up outside. Everyone's snowed in. These teams trying to end their cold streak. Do have a couple of subs on as well. The side of the Kibble Munchers with quite a few, I believe multiple subs. Whereas on the side of Pillars of Positivity, I believe they should have their full arsenal available to them. Kibble Munchers are subbing in FaZe and Soyblake, I believe, for their bottom lane. But as we look at the draft, Kibble Crunchers first picking Ambessa here, making sure that one of their players that is here between Dr. Patient and the Kibble namesake himself would be able to get that strong champion, whether it goes top or jungle. And then they round it out with the Jinx and the Lulu as just a strong hyper-carrying duo in the bot lane. Sivir can maybe do that in her own right. There for Lil Mac. We'll see if they want to do a support pick early on. To round it out, and if they believe that a support, an enchanter to match the Lulu would be good here, or maybe something else that the Pillars would like to do, like an engage support. Definitely not out of the possibilities there as they go for Sivir and Nautilus. A lot of junglers were chipped away at through the early phase of bans. A lot of these weird picks, like the Talon, like the Rengar, Viego, and the Gwen. And because those can be flexed into some other roles, we'll see how the teams want to decide out their phase 2 bans. On the side of Pillars, Hey, I'm Kyle has done a fine job so far. He has been willing to play weird stuff, like Ambessa, like LeBlanc, like Mel. But they do take away Azir on the side of Kibble Crunchers, no Jax or Orianna as well. There are plenty of powerful mages still up with Syndra, but Kibble Crunchers elects to ban away the LeBlanc, making sure that Hey, I'm Kyle does not get his hands on the one pick that Pillars of Positivity have logged a win on in their games. See whether they want to reveal where this Volibear is going by picking either top or jungle and leaving that mid lane for 5th pick, or if they're confident in blinding something. Seems to be the latter, as it's going to be Hey, I'm Kyle on the Ahri. He has not had a game on it yet. As we look to the Kibble Crunchers for what Sealed Destiny can possibly bring out. We've seen interesting stuff from him at times, like a Karma mid. Excuse me, that was a Scion mid, excuse me. But into Ahri, there is an option to go for a tankier mage that can definitely just soak up Ahri's burst and then take the fight from there. And that seems what they want to do with a Swain. Could certainly go top for Dr. Patient as well, and they put the Ambessa in the jungle. Cable Crunchers definitely have their damage checked off with Jinx and Mbessa, so would like to see. I mean, I think slamming something like a Malphite here would be very strong against an Ahri composition. They go with Cassante, a solid tank up in top side, as it's effectively blind into the Pillars of Positivity. Bmorse has been willing to play stuff like the Olaf, like the Alawi, Mordekaiser, so he's got stuff in his arsenal that can maybe deal with the kind of standard tanky Cassante pick. I think Alawi here would be kind of weird. While the lane into Cassante could be fine, she'll just get kited to hell and back against Jinx, Lulu, Swain. So they elect for the Ornn. Both teams, it feels like, putting a lot on their AD carries. Jinx and Sivir going to be relied on to do a lot of damage with, you know, the mid laners not being primary damage sources, not Rises, not Azirs. More utility out of each of the solo lanes. As I look through some notes here, Pillars of Positivity have played a good bit of these kind of scaling marksmen in the bot lane. They've been playing Smolder, they've been playing Sivir, they've been playing Yunara, so it has been kind of their MO to leave the bot lane to scale. It has not really been their MO to put Huncho on a more passenger kind of pick. He's been willing to play like Lilia, Aatrox, the Mbessa himself. So it is going to be a bit different, you have to imagine, on a Volibear who can not really do much. I think we've seen Volibear jungle be fine in DMV so far. But once he gets past one item into the game, he's going to fall off from there. And will get kited out to hell and back by the Jinx Lulu. And I think if Soy Blake and Sealed Destiny down there can, you know, survive any onslaught the Volibear or a roaming Ahri can send them, they definitely have the capability of taking over this game, soaking up what is a short-range composition from the Pillars of Positivity, letting the Jinx get to work from range behind a front line of Cassante and Swain. Yeah, just so I am clear on all of the substitutions, because they confuse me as well. 2 subs on the side of the Kibble Crunchers. FaZe will be playing in the mid lane. Soy Blake will be playing in the AD role. And Sealed Destiny switches to support. Getting ahead of the curve here a bit. The game has been paused for various reasons. We'll never know. Should be good to go momentarily. only the best quality. Please hold. Alrighty, and we are into game, and the Ornn is getting awfully low here. Is able to be fine, but yeah, Ornn going to be a bit susceptible early on. As you see, the Nautilus very low as well. Into the double ranged is going to be maybe a rough time for Chain User down here. As Chain User hits the anchor, has some shielding up as they exhaust Soy Blake. They're trying to go for the all-in, but Chain User now just gets flashed on top of its first blood for Soy Blake. And now he's keeping his range away from Little Mac, who's going to try to flash in, seals up the return kill. So it is 1-for-1 first blood, though, going to Soy Blake. Chain User certainly may be feeling pressured into doing something, given the lane is not going to go well for him. Tries to make something happen with all his spells, all his sums, but does go down. Good job by Lil Mac to get the return. We'll be able to soak up this wave, and now Seal Destiny could be in trouble. The Glitter Lance is spell shielded, and Huncho has a free kill in the palm of his hand, but the flash gets Seal Destiny out to safety. So that will be Top Crab going the way of Kibble Muncher, pathing up towards his Cassante, who's getting the better of Ornn once again, forcing the flash. Sam Kyle tanks a tower shot. And they're going to go for the dive here, and Bessa not going to look to recall. Nice stun by Dr. Patient, and Kibble Muncher swoops in for an easy pickup. Nicely done by Dr. Patient, able to get a ton of good trades going. The Ornn definitely going to become a bit of a brick wall later in the game, but definitely good to put him down early. Huncho is going to spend some time up there. Dr. Patient does cancel his base, and we have another pause as we go into investigate. My top laner is the cat. Yep, all right, we'll leave that be. Yeah, once again, both these teams looking for their first match win of DMV. They've each won a singular game each. As Dr. Patient loses his internet spectrum, I'm sure. As we will await for him to possibly reconnect and continue on. Do want to point out that B-Morse is running Aftershock on the Ornn. An interesting adaptation. And not electing for the Grasp to stack up those health points. And not even opting for Spellbook to be weird. As Ham Kyle getting a bit low. Does get the passive heal. The Vision actually does a lot of damage, and we pay him back just in time for FaZe to get the solo. So far, the substitutions on the side of the Kibble Crunchers are going quite well. Soy Blake getting a kill. FaZe getting a kill. They are going to TP RE into the... Plans within plans, I'm sure. As B-Morse, now on the Ornn, is not even going to proc his Aftershock. He is keystoneless. And now Dr. Patient very willing to just go for these trades. And the Brittle proc is a CC, though, so able to get some resistances from that. Hook is there as Seal Destiny playing very far up, but Chain User flashing over the traps. Don't know if he needs to be that scared of the Kull Doran's Jinx. Does at least have his jungler on this side, so they know they're not getting ganked right now. Good cover by Huncho. As another hook comes down, Aftershock is there, and now Seal Destiny could be in trouble. Has the polymorph to deny a lot of damage, though. And so they trade Exhaust for Heal. We do have level 6 hit on Kibble Muncher. Is going to unlock him to go for some pretty nice plays. As he's going to look for Hey, I'm Kyle here. Nice job with the grasp by FaZe. Hey, I'm Kyle, though, has the Spirit Rush. And with all those dashes, he'll be just fine. Trade of ultis in the mid lane. Oh, it actually fit. Okay, the camera hates us. This is why you don't trust League Client, as that is a very nice solo kill. Hey, I'm Kyle flashing in, landing the combo, and getting some payback. Gonna be able to push in that wave. No there is TP available on FaZe, so he won't be put too far behind. The wave isn't even really going to crash. Good work from Ham Kyle, taking that angle even without the ult, able to get the kill. As once again, we see a hook onto Seal Destiny. Lomac trying to press forward. Gets a lot of boomerang damage down. They have level 6 on both ADEs, but not going to really make them go too aggressive. A very quiet early game thus far. And I do think if you're the side of the Kibble Crunchers, you're perfectly fine with that. Your Swain is going to be very difficult to deal with as he drain tanks everyone away in the late game. Your Jinx and Lulu is going to be tough to reach. Feels like Huncho on a Volibear, even with Dusk of Dawn being fantastic, is not going to be a very useful bear later on. So would really like to see if he could try to force some plays here now with the level 6 ultimate available. Cloud Drake is going to go the way of Huncho. And so Kibble Muncher going to start up the grubs. We aren't going to see either support really move for it. They have both hit level 6s as Chain User goes on in. Drops the depth charge onto 2. And now the boomerang damage is getting so much work done. But Wild Growth will keep Seal Destiny alive. And now Soyblake trying to respond. Gets hit by another Dredge line. The Super Mega Death Rocket does claim a kill. But Soyblake dies right now. Here comes the tower disabling power of the Volibear. Seal Destiny, though, building a lot of space. Now public execution comes on down. Lil Mac is under attack. And Kibble Munchers gets the last auto. The Pillars force the play, but they lose 3 kills in Penance. And we're going to see this Mbessa really start to get accelerated. She had the Profane Hydra up and ready for that point. The Volibear did not have Dusk of Dawn. So more power in the Mbessa to take that fight and mop the floor with them. We do have All Out on the top lane as B Morse is just going to Searing Charge away. And actually, nice job preventing the Brittle Clap by Dr. Patient, forcing the flash. And B Morse, he's held on fine for this lane, down about a wave, but we are continuing to see Dr. Patient put on the pressure, be the one dictating in the lane. Do have first items coming through now for the mid laners. Would definitely like to see if this Ahri can get out and be free to move about the map. You know, no summoners on the bot lane. Could be a great opportunity for Ham Kyle to start to accelerate the pace of the game. For now, he'll settle for combos like that half health a Swain. It is a squishy build from FaZe, going Blackfire initially, so not going to be stacking Aroa. Not going to be gaining a lot of health for the early game. Instead, going to be actually doing damage. We do have a play perhaps in mid as Sam Kyle just going to elude the Mbessa. As Flash away as Kibble Muncher now in trouble as the train is going to roll through the station. Nice job hitting it onto 2. And that is a nice kill in the mid. And now max range anchor comes out onto Soyblake. They're trying to force the issue. The Jinx wants to fire back. Lil Mac trying to put out the damage, but they just can't match the Lulu Jinx. Soyblake now kiting away with the minigun. And that should be 2 kills again for the Super Sub of Soyblake. That is 5 kills to this bottom lane 12 minutes into the game. We'll see a bit of a wet noodle fight up here in top lane. Dr. Patient may look for an all-out angle. It is there. Drags him through the wall, and the Swain W's there, and B-Morse doesn't have a way out. Nicely played by the Cassante. Ham Kyle now teleporting into the bot lane with intentions to kill Soyblake, but he doesn't get the damage. The barrier providing so much value for the Jinx, and Ham Kyle 2 TPs, 0 to show for it as Huncho actually forcing a flash out of Dr. Patient and continuing to just auto him down with the Lightning Claws, now disabling the tower with the Stormbringer. But does he have the damage? He doesn't! And Huncho wanted a 1v1 with the top laner that is 2 levels higher than him, or excuse me, a level higher than him. Not sure if Dusk and Dawn is quite that good. It was not good enough there. Oh, and FaZe actually forcing another Spirit Rush out of Ham Kyle. He's going to try to dip back in for a trade. Doesn't get the charm. Does have that last Spirit Dash just in case anything gets sticky. We do see, even though Chain User and Lil Mac have been not really getting what they want in this bot lane, they're going for engages that aren't panning out. Do see a very solid vision line across the bot river that Jinx and Lulu are now going to deal with as their Mbessa works their way over to their side for the dragon. Dr. Patient, after getting that kill on the Ornn, on the Volibear, has really opened up a nice lead for him. And he's going to look to extend that here. The Antofo strike is going to hit. And he immunes the train, but gets on the wrong side of the platform. As now Kibble Muncher could be in danger. They kite out well with the Lulu Glitter Lance. And now Kibble Muncher maybe wanted to go aggressive. Chain User needs to use that anchor to good effect. And he'll be able to blast plant away. Nothing too much of value burned away, but feels like with the Ahri not having ult, with the Volibear not having ult, there's no real opportunity down here for the side of the pillars. And now Chain User is rooted up on the little Flame Chompers. He's dead again. Soyblake hits the zap. Nice spell shield by Lil Mac, and bot lane continuing to grow their advantages. Huncho wants to hunt down something. He wants to continue making plays, even if they don't work on the Volibear. Feels like this Nautilus that they knew was going to be playing into Lulu Jinx has not been doing well. May definitely serve some good value later on as he ults the Jinx to make it easy for his team to follow up, as he locks down an Mbessa and prevents her from doing 60 dashes all over the place. But the lane Definitely not going good for Chain User and Lil Mac. We will see Huncho work his way into this brush. He was spotted by Kibble Muncher. They want to maybe try to approach here onto the Mbessa. Nice public execution. Does hit, and Hamcow takes so much damage. The lethality of this Mbessa, it just evaporates the Fox. Like, didn't really stand a chance. Wasn't able to Spirit Dash away enough. And now Chain User polymorphed in the bot lane. It's just both sides continuing to go the way of the Munchers. Not able to get another kill on the Nautilus, forcing the flash that time. Huncho is going to work his way down to bot lane, but the Flame Chompers mean he can't approach. Nice champ. As Soy Blake just puts down the E, walks it out. Dr. Patient is now up about 15, 16 CS. Oh, wait, no, I can't do math. He's up like 20 CS in the bot lane, doing a very nice job. Has that Kanik Rookern under his belt. B-Morse, not sure how I feel about a completed Sunfire Aegis. Not exactly a great value item as Soy Blake. Now under pressure again. This time, Huncho gets around the Flame Chompers, but what has it done for him? Because Soy Blake just keeps on doing the damages, and now the Jinx firing away, getting excited, picks up a double. FaZe even TPs down to hit a never move, and it is a triple kill. Now public execution, a quadra kill, 17 minutes into the game. Did we vet? Did Soy Blake go through the proper channels? Did the league approve this? Did Adam Silver sign off on this? Because Soy Blake and Seal Destiny are doing fantastic here in the bot lane. Seal Destiny moving to support for this game. Soy Blake subbing in the AD carry role. They take the tower. They move in with Herald again. And as much armor as this Ornn has been stacking, this Jinx is going to be stacking a lot more damage. So it is difficult to see how the side of the Pillars can really get back in this one against a 2-item accelerated Jinx. An Mbessa that, if she gets past the front line, which is, you know, the entire thing that she does, she'll evaporate a carry with this lethality build. Dr. Patient, now under a bit of pressure, has the Pathmaker, still gets stunned, still gets charmed, but he's not really taking damage. Huncho has lethal tempo. If given enough time, they will take him down for sure. And he will actually Pathmake. He'll go all out onto the Volibear, but I don't think he's got more dashes in him. He is shut down by Huncho. As Hamkyle now ulted up, here comes Kibble Muncher again, just waltzing over his face, and Hamkyle has to evacuate. It would do me good to learn what the most popular champion spells are called, as Seal Destiny kills the Ahri while I do that, but that doesn't matter. FaZe now going to go into Demonic Ascension. We know the name of that one. The Call of the Forge God doing good work, but I mean, I don't think FaZe is going to die. As many Brittle procs as you like, FaZe will still drain away the essence of B-Morse. A 10k gold lead, 20 minutes into the game. A comp that does not scale all too well, even with an Ornn somehow. And Chain User is dead again. I'm not sure what he's doing here. I'm not sure what the intent is. You're never defending that tower. He gives over 70 gold or whatever to Soy Blake, who is now godlike on this Jinx. And we're basically at a point where there's no item spike where I would expect the side of the Pillars to win. Their Volibear is at the strongest he'll ever be. Their Ahri is at the strongest he'll ever be compared to the champions they're up against. And Sivir at 6 items is great. Jinx and Lulu at 6 items will be better. So we'll see if they can use some mid-game playmaking of the Ahri to catch single people out, of the Nautilus to catch single people out, and try to at least claw back this massive gold deficit, collect some of the shutdowns. That will get very, very tricky as the vision line moves up on the side of the Kibble Munchers. Also have, 2 items on the Lulu. Has the Mikhails to get people out of sticky situations. Those Ari charms not going to be too effective as August Seal Destiny is on the keys. And so for the side of Kibble Crunchers, probably going to be a very drawn-out, slow game as they wait to stack up these dragons. They've already been able to grab 2 thus far, and they are going to continue winning in these isolated 1v1s. D-Morse can't really hang with anyone, as Kibble Muncher, though, may be very extended. Depth charge goes up, but the Wild Growth helps keep him alive for a little bit. Does still give over a big shutdown. They'd like to go forward for more flashing from Chain User. And now Soyblake needs a Mikhails, but he's charmed. He's killed 2 shutdowns to the Sivir, looking for her 3rd, but Seal Destiny is able to get away. The Demonic Flare trades back 1, but that is 3 big sacks of gold to the Sivir, as meanwhile, Dr. Patient is getting another solo kill onto B-Morse, but onto Baron goes the side of the Pillars. They got 3 kills, almost 4, as they let their AD die on Baron. We forget in these trying times that even though Otacon is not on the Rift, Baron has inherited his capabilities. He shreds everyone that he is hitting. He does the big damage. We can't do Baron at 22 minutes. You're not T1. I don't care how many people are dead. They lose their Sivir. They don't get Baron. And that's money to FaZe that shouldn't have gone there. Still, it does bring back the gold from a 11k deficit to a 9k gold deficit. So we're working on something. The Sivir got a lot of gold. Got 3 shutdowns in that exchange. Still 2k gold behind the Jinx, who has just finished her 3rd item. Has that LDR. She will not care about the steel caps on the Ornn, the steel caps on the Volibear, and the steel caps on the Nautilus. But we do maybe see the vision from the side of Pillars. Let the Mbessa do something stupid, and then kill her, and then kill everyone else with the Sivir. We do have 3 items on Lil Mac as well, so if they are drawn to this next dragon fight, they are not completely hopeless, as long as Mbessa doesn't get on top of their 1 carry. We are going to continue to see the side lanes, though, go very much in the favor of the Kibble Crunchers. Or not going to really be able to do much. Mbessa can come around the bend with stuff like this, which means Chain User misses the anchor, not much of an anchor user. And that is another kill to Kibble Muncher, who definitely doing well. You're the namesake of the team. You gotta be putting up good performances. He is definitely doing so here. And now they are on to the Baron as a 4-man squad. I don't think Baron is going to claim his 2nd kill of the game, but maybe Huncho can get in position for a miracle. He's going to try to go through the front door. Does get never moved on back. And the Baron is secured by Kibble Muncher. Now Ornn trying to make his entrance on the side just to die. Public execution is evaded with the blast plant. And it is still a commanding position for the Kibble Crunchers. We will at least have Ornn items, so that 12k gold lead is more like a 10k gold lead. That is not going to give Huncho much respite. The 1v1 doesn't look too bad, though, until the Wild Growth comes on down. Now going to go with the Stormbringer ultimate. Volibear is trying his best, but he still dies. Chain User now in a whole lot of trouble as the Jinx is allowed to free fire. The charm doesn't matter, but Sivir gets the damage down, and maybe Lil Mac can bring this one back. He's going to be able to find another triple kill in the jungle out of nowhere. And the Kibble Cruncher still can't close this one out. There is a dragon on the rift, but Kibble Muncher wants to go for the fight. Flash away from Ham Kyle. He doesn't have any resets left in him. As Dr. Patient now 3 levels up on B-Morse. And Lil Mac has found himself on the wrong end of Mbessa's cunning strikes. That charm is also on the wrong end of Mbessa. So Ham Kyle not going to be able to find a return kill. And you know, now that Soy Blake has, you know, gotten some debts under his belt, maybe this opens up the opportunity for Kibble Muncher to somehow get player of the game. So he's playing the long game. He's letting his team int, letting him as a carry jungler actually build more than 2 items, never before seen, and try to just, you know, pad the scoreline here a bit. Mountain Dragon is on the rift. Sivir not on the rift for 7 more seconds. And for that reason, don't think there's really any chance in the dreams of the Pillars to be able to contest for this one. Will be sole point to the side of the Crunchers. To the credit of the Pillars, nothing too much was really achieved with this Baron that is about to time out. Dr. Patient may be able to get this inner tower, but the fact that it has stood for this long is kind of impressive, as Dr. Patient now going to get ulted up. Flashes the wall, but Chain User is hot on his tail. Seal Destiny trying to make his way over. There's Wild Growth to continue the fight, and now Dr. Patient refusing to die. Mbessa on the back line isn't gonna be dying anytime soon either. Sivir is dealing with the big Birdman. They don't have damage without her, and Mbessa gets the double. Soy Blake gets excited, and he takes out his opposite number. They thought there was a play to be made in the top lane on the side of the Pillars, but it is turned around in an instant. Neither Kibble Muncher nor Dr. Patient under 90% HP at the end of it all. Huncho gets back onto the rift. He will watch his tower die. Ham Kyle able to collect a tower on bot side. That may help him finish a 3rd item, but it's not going to be too useful. Huncho does cancel 1 back. I mean, with lethal tempo, he can maybe take this. The 1v1 is the only place he can really do anything. And Dr. Patient without flash, he might just get run down. Here comes the Storm Strikes out of Huncho. And if given enough time, I am sure Huncho would win. He will get enough time, especially now with Chain User and Ham Kyle here. But Kibble Muncher may be looking for his opportunity, as there's a public execution. Hits onto the Nautilus. I don't think that's where the Mbessa wants to be. She's now stunned up, knocked around, has the Wild Growth at Seal Destiny, saving his team once again. Soy Blake now turning onto a flanking Sivir. That is for sure not how we want to play the game, but this is exactly how Soy Blake wants it to happen. He mows them all down. A quadra for the Jinx. And that should be the end of a game 1 that was all about Soy Blake and Seal Destiny. Start to finish, 15 kills on the Jinx. And that'll be the Nexus towers going down. The Nexus soon to follow. These subs looking a lot better than Jersey Mike's as game 1 goes the way of the Kibble Crunchers. Really nice stuff from the side of the Kibble Crunchers. Of course, give a lot of praise to the Jinx and Lulu for not bowing out of that lane, taking it to him early on, even as the scaling duo. And then you had the Mbessa in the jungle just kind of getting to do what she pleases. The Cassante doing the same. Very nice stuff to start the series off for the Crunchers. And on the side of the Pillars of Positivity, if you want something to be positive about, I mean, the Sivir did get to play the game a bit. Unsure what the plan was at that Baron fight where she flanked a Lulu and Jinx and got polymorphed and got immediately killed. We may have the subs bowing out on the side of the Crunchers. I do believe Soy Blake will be bowing out. His mission accomplished. We will have Cole back in the bot lane for the side of the Kibble Crunchers. Good news, I suppose, for the Pillars of Positivity, as that game definitely did not go their way, and they get some sort of reprieve in the way of a unnecessary reset. They elected to play the Nautilus. It definitely did not pan out. Should be getting into draft actually right away between the Crunchers and the Pillars. The Pillars are going to be on the blue side, I do believe. Not often that a team elects to play the blue side after losing. We'll see what the Pillars can do with those first picks. We do see a good bit of the same to open us up here in the first phases of bans. No assassin junglers for the Kibble Muncher himself. And the Lily actually banned away as well. So a lot of farming junglers off the table. The Pillars choose to go with the Varus. They have not recorded a game of Varus yet in the top, in the bot, in the mid. So we'll see if that is something that Lil Mac is very comfortable on here. Can definitely put on a lot more lane pressure than the Sivir so that they don't get rolled over like last game. But the Crunchers are also willing to stay aggressive in that bottom lane. They go with the Lucian there for Cole. He's ready to get going now that he is back in the lineup. See what Steel Destiny wants to pair with it. You know, Nami, definitely the standard one, but Milio also available. So far, Lucian Milio is the combo that they've played. They have not played the Nami side of it. And that last pick is Victor. That is very high priority on a champion that isn't even really regarded as the top tier blind pick mages Oriana is still up. Rise is still up. But we get some interesting stuff from the pillars. They're going to play Karma, and they're going to play the Yorick. They have done Karma before, and they have not done Yorick before. Not a pick we often see because teams kind of just like to team fight and win from there. But Yorick, if he is not drawn to any needed soul fights, he can definitely be a bit of a problem in the side lanes. Kibble Crunchers do have the opportunity to pick against that, but they do elect for the Nami, making sure that Lucian has his partner in crime. So 2 double-ranged bot lanes, definitely going to be a fist fight to get lane priority, get constant poke down. Am curious on the side of the Kibbles, the priority over the Victor, as we've alluded to. What mid lane champions do they really not want to see against that guy? And frankly, it is too many. The Azir is something they're respecting from Ham Kyle. The Oriana, the Rise, all these perfectly fine matchups into the Victor. And to be fair, Pillars don't have any great lockdown engage to get on an immobile Victor right now. Mbessa off the board after game 1, so there are perhaps some opportunities there. Talia, another strong mid laner that actually gets banned by the Pillars. I am double checking that the Victor ban. Okay, the Talia ban is correct. Heaven knows if it was a mistake or not. But now we actually have Shen in the... I mean, I guess it could be flexed between jungle and the top, if we're being honest. It's probably a counter into the Yorick. Can block a lot of damage, can be aggressive early before the Yorick gets his spells and gets going. Definitely has a very different MO later on. Victor wants, or excuse me, Shen wants to group with his team. Yorick does not want to see his team. He wants the solitude of the graves. He wants the solitude of the isles. As Shin's out, going to be the jungle pick for the side of the Pillars. Alongside a Kassadin. Okay. Kassadin into Victor is something people have liked before. You know, Victor's mana costs are kind of high, so he can't really be a lane bully. And Kassadin maybe just gets to scale through it. We'll see. I mean, he's got good shot at the Victor in the late game because Victor is immobile. He can Rift Walk off the gravity well. Locking down Lucian going to be a bit more difficult, as it is Sylas for the Kibble Crunchers. That, if I am being frank, looks completely awful this game. I don't believe Kibble Muncher has a game of Sylas in him this split. He does not. So I'm not buying it. Every ult looks terrible, except for Varus ult and sometimes Xin Zhao ult. I mean, the enemy team is pretty melee, so Xin Zhao ult, actually maybe not too bad, but there's nothing that makes me go, oh yeah, that's the one. That's the Alistar ult. That's the Gangplank ult. That's the Gnar ult. Going to be interesting to see what Kibble Muncher can do on the Sylas here. Definitely a pick that, you know, we've seen a bit in the jungle. I think people have kind of realized that he needs a bit more gold on him and needs a bit more muscle. So they've put him back in solo lanes. But I mean, we saw Kibble Muncher get up to 3 items as a jungler. 3 items! I didn't know you could do that. So it is also a double magic jungle and mid, which means Kassadin is like completely chilling throughout this whole game. Sylas isn't going to really make plays off of, or like invades off of the priority that Kassadin will cede. Very interesting. I do think it at the very least pairs very well with the Shen. It felt like with just Victor and Lucian, there wasn't an aggressive mode for the Shen where he could ult on top of a diver and just get into the backline with them. Sylas does at least achieve that. May be difficult against Karma Mantra E's, against Varus R's to really get to that backline consistently, but he may at least have a Shen with him. So if either the Kibble Crunchers are content with playing maybe back to front with their Victor, the Shen can be peeled that way. And if they need to dive onto the backline with Sylas, Lucian playing aggressive, they can use Shen that way. The Pillars comp does have some nice tools in the side lane. Kassadin, a menace there, as well as the Yorick. So if they are not seeding much in the early game and they're not drawn to a soul fight at 20 minutes, you're not feeling too bad. The Varus does scale quite nicely in this game. You know, the Shen is going to be very much drawn to the side lane to deal with a Yorick, deal with a Kassadin. So he's going to get very good lethality poke if that's the way he wants to go. Karma speed-ups can provide good peel, you know, when you're in that kind of 1-3-1 position with the Kassadin, with the Yorick. The enemy team may try to make a play on the 3 in mid, and the Karma speed-ups do allow them to get a lot of distance and prevent themselves from being engaged on by, you know, pretty light engage coming through from a Sylas and a Shen. All right, and we are in for game number 2. The Crunchers really crunching down in that first game, get a dominant victory. They do now have Cole back into the bot lane. So we'll see how he can do with Sealed Destiny on this lane in the Lucianami, especially given that this bot lane does feel very volatile with 2 ranged versus 2 ranged. We will see Sylas at least pat down to them on the side of the Crunchers. Meanwhile, on the Pillar side, Huncho going to path up towards his Yorick. I love how some keys just don't outright work. Nice. Yeah. Definitely a fair share of interesting picks this game with the Shen top as well into the Yorick. Be more stacking up that Conqueror, going for these nice extended trades on the Shen. Be more also opting in for the Ignite. But now he's taunted up. The Spirit Blade comes back and Dr. Patient just flashes away. The ghouls are hot on his trail. B-Morse flashing in with a shovel, but it's not enough damage. The Dorans, the Pots, the second wind if he has it. I didn't see a bone plating. Paying off for Dr. Patient. It bails him out of what was a very odd taunt in, flash out, insta combo. As B-Morse tanks a tower shot for fun. Does at least know his jungler is on his way up there. But Chain User would definitely like his jungler to show up. Instead, he is dealing with a lot of Lucian autos. And with press the attack and no Comet, it is actually not going to be a poke Varus, it would seem. Does mean he will not quite be as able to fight back with a Comet with his poke. As Bubble comes out onto Lil Mac. Mantra Q, though, keeping Cole at bay. Definitely a good start for Seal Destiny and Cole. As Seal actually getting aggressive, tanks a tower shot, flash in for a flash out. Now insta-exhaust. Cole is not able to seal the deal. Very dicey as that overstep from Seal. Instantly, everyone tries to go aggressive. But guess who's here? It's the Muncher himself. He's going to flash in, misses the abduct, lays down a Q, but nothing's doing just yet. Seal Destiny gets executed, and oh no. Oh no, it's first blood to Lil Mac. That's not how you draw it up. The Silas, I mean, don't know if they had to play for the dive. If they could have tried to just put pressure on Lil Mac and Chain User to miss that wave. Especially early on without an engaged support, without an aftershock to tank even a single tower shot. It gets very dicey, very fast. And Lil Mac definitely happy to get that kill under his belt. We do have the Kassadin in mid, soaking up fine. He definitely gets to live a good bit of the dream against double magic jungle mid on the side of the Kibbles. We do see Seal Destiny pushing up that vision line in the bot side. They get to track Huncho pretty well. But for the most part, junglers are just going to be full clearing anyway. And then you just pick who's stronger for which objective. When you have a Kassadin in mid, you are definitely expected to seed a lot of early objectives. Double buffs on the Varus, though, maybe they can get some pressure here. Try to force the issue, but Cole is not deterred. He just dashes forward, soaks up the mantra damage. And Wave's in a very good spot for Seal and Cole as well. And again, their Shinzao is full clearing away from them, so they are not going to be receiving help anytime soon. Definitely feels like an odd choice to go for this more aggressive pairing in the Varus Karma. And now flash in from Cole. Does he have the damage root up? Lil Mac not going to get the last auto down from Cole. But guess who's here? It's the Muncher again. But Kassadin has roamed down to cover as well. Shinzao will pick up the mid wave if truly needed. And Huncho actually is going aggressive, flashing over the gravity well, and FaZe is in trouble. He's going to flash away, but there's the fadeaway Q. It'll be at least a 1-for-1. Flashes burned on both sides, but Kassadin gets a kill. We'll get to that Roa a good bit faster. Sealed gonna make sure that Lucian can back in peace, and Lil Mac cannot. We do have the Maiden up here in the top side for B Morris Ignite backup. If he is able to get aggressive on a Steel Caps Dr. Patient Shen. The new Season 2016 top lane quest. Definitely opening up opportunities for these aggressive summoners. You get the TP off the quest. This taunt comes in from Dr. Patient, but with the Maiden, I don't think B-Morse is too scared. Silas even starting up the dragon on the other side. So all that Lucian Nami priority is going to pay off with that first dragon for the side of the Kibble Crunchers. Gonna have a bit of the fight as Seal Destiny hits the bubble, but immediately here comes Huncho. Does have the Crescent Guard to split him up, but so does the Silas as he goes in on the bot side. It's Cole getting a solo kill. Dr. Patient ulting into the fight, but he's not contributing all too much. Hey, I'm Kyle Rift walking back in. B-Morse has some speed, but he's not able to close the gap. Feels like the Pillars really wanted to make some plays up here, but it is not meant to be. They throw down a lot of ults and now don't really have the health bars to contest for these Void Grubs. Does feel like a bit of robbery for the Kassadin to be able to help get a objective before 30 minutes, but here we are. The Victor, not exactly the best pressure point in his own right, to be fair. But we do see the Yorick opening up a very big gold lead. He is, I want to imagine like 1k up. 500. It was half right. Thought he was going to be a very big part of this gold lead, but yeah, definitely doing well, even though the Shen was Dr. Patient's option into the Yorick. That just keeps happening. The ghouls keep on pouncing. Dr. Patient always on the back foot. We will have Kibble Muncher work his way to the bot side, make sure that they can push this wave in. Cole may be pushing a bit too aggressively. Does burn the barrier. Never falter. There's Riftwalk in from Ham Kyle and FaZe. I mean, until they get to really their first items, this Kassadin is going to be pretty fine. Does have to maybe wait a bit as his Roa stacks up, as his Sarah stacks up to really come online and start fighting. Whereas Victor with the Blackfire Torch, going to have a bit more of an immediate impact, especially when that mid lane quest hits on his boots as well. Also the Lucian completing his Essence Reaver as Cole, coming in, doesn't have the hand warmer that his opponents and his teammates do, as he did not play in game number 1. But doing just fine for himself here with this Lucian Nami lane. They're up 20 CS. Providing a good bit of pressure. Feels like every time we pan down here, that wave is pushed in. And Lil Mac attack is fearing for his life. Mantra Q misses, and now Cole just gets to open up. There goes the culling and the tidal wave as well. Cole now just going to flash in, and the piercing light gets the kill. He's exhausted. He's going to find a double. They do lose sealed to the tower, and that is gold for the Varus, but it is the Lucian now 3-0. Doesn't matter whether it's Cole. Doesn't matter whether it's Soy Blake. The bot lane continuing to win out, continuing to be the strong point for the side of the Kibble Crunchers. Huncho feels like he wanted to get aggressive. Both supports have moved up to support their junglers, and Kibble Muncher actually going to go for the fight first. Proto belting away, but now Huncho's going to go in as the Shin's out. Crescent guards traded out. It's Huncho stunned up on the gravity well, but now Ham Kyle blocks the abduct, and now Huncho's back in with some heals. Does maybe play it a bit too far, as FaZe is able to now flash away to safety. Hey, I'm Kyle. Going to have some coverage from the Karma to be able to just push this lane in. The both junglers wanted to take the fight, thought they were stronger with their supports around. Hey, I'm Kyle blocking that abduct. Huge. Let Huncho get out of the fight. Get another Sundered Sky proc in, which maybe he was a bit overconfident on as he still dies in the end. Second dragon is started up, and again, it's Roa Kassadin in mid. It is a very strong Lucian in bot. Doesn't feel like there's really any plan, any way for the side of the pillars to find a way in. And I mean, this Yorick has been allowed to just do his work in solitaire. Or excuse me, in... Words are difficult. In solitude. As now Solitude in E minor as chain user is going to be bubbled up, tidal wave down, and Cole now on a rampage. 4-0. This tower is going to fall in top as well, though. So that is a bright spot for the pillars. But this tower may fall in bot as well, as Lil Mac is now just calling out again. Will get the return kill. It is not a shutdown, though. So it's basically even now. Kibble Muncher actually flashing in on top of the Yorick. Gets the last Petricide. Gonna summon the Maiden to be used against him. Doesn't even really need her. But Huncho is now up here. Going to look to take the fight. But the Maiden is, putting in some work. Not enough work, but some work. As Huncho is going to continue on the warpath. A double for the Xin Zhao. Definitely like what we're seeing from Huncho here in game number 2. Felt like as the volley bear, he got to his one item. He wanted to fight. Had that bad tower dive in top. Had lanes losing. Didn't get to really do much. Wasn't able to find any early plays to help his lanes. This time, able to get active. He's taking fights on that one item spike of the Xin Zhao. And he picks off 2 there on the top side. Bot lane continues to be a bit of a black hole, though, as Cole, now with 2 items already on the Lucian, has been a very split map thus far. All objectives on top side going the way of the pillars, but Cole continues to do stuff like this. Dashing forward, getting pressure out, able to dash back and stay alive, forcing the summoners, both Lil Mac and Chain User, now without flash. Their jungler is around, kind of, but they have no hope of defending this tower.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
We'll see what Cole and Sealed Destiny can do now that that tower is gone. They're going to be moved over towards that mid lane to continue to put some pressure down. Kyle actually Rift walks into the wave and now could be in a bit of danger. The Maiden is summoned up again, I suppose, as Kibble Muncher not able to get it done. Just another Rift walk away. A bit curious as to how he got the Maiden back so fast. But he casted it in top. Maybe that was B-Morse's Maiden in top side. As Sealed Destiny is caught out. The Nami not going to be able to swim too far, but has to stand united from the Shen. And now they're going to turn around. It ends up being Chain User who is caught out and killed. Dr. Patient, the lane's not going to go too well as the Shen, but he is able to get to his team, able to turn that play around. B-Morse now under fire. Gravity Well not going to stun him up. Arcane Storm now there, and FaZe also getting quite fed on this Victor. 3-1. Kyle looks to get aggressive on Kibble Muncher, but again, this is a stacking Kassadin. His Roa, 6 minutes in. His Seraphs, not there. But Cole maybe needs to be careful because Huncho is the one guy that he maybe needs to be scared of, especially when he's teamed up with Kyle and when his fish is dead in the water. Kibble trying to get around on the side. Doesn't have an ult just yet. Huncho pops the Crescent Guard, but the taunt is beautiful. Can they get Cole into fire away? They're able to get a kill for Huncho. And now the catch onto Cole. The Lucian doesn't get to contribute. And Dr. Patient now trying to fight back. It's a back and forth affair in the top lane. FaZe is able to pick off Huncho on the top side. And now needs to limp, I don't know, his way out. Yeah, so all things considered, especially given how the game was basically trading sides, the Yorick getting advantages top, the Lucian getting advantages bottom, we have a very even game. Dragon is on the Rift. Do the side of the Pillars feel comfortable about this one? At least Kyle wants to Rift walk in. He is now caught on the chains. The Dragon even gusting him back, extending the CC as Kibble Muncher just continues to go aggressive. But those empowered shoes are doing a lot of work until Dr. Patient comes in to get that kill. Definitely feels like Huncho, 2 items on the Shinzao, wanted to play for something here. Wanted to prevent Soul Point, but the Kassadin, not a threat. The Lucian, the Victor, definitely threats. But not really against B-Morse, as he will summon up the pain and suffering of Isolde and get to work here. In the top lane, he is perfectly fine with his team not being able to do soul fights. He is perfectly fine. Just chilling up here. He takes another tower. B-Morse, 1.3k gold up. That does mean that the actual 4v4 that's going to occur on the Rift is pretty favored in the to the side of the Kibble Crunchers. You know, you've got 2 items on the Victor. Now they maybe have a play onto B-Morse. He's going to be caught out there. Cole gets another one. They aren't going to really be able to convert it into anything. We should not be doing Barons at 20 minutes. Thank you. Some missing pings up in top as there was no plan for that Herald by Huncho. Could have been a nice opportunity to open up the bot lane with Kyle about to tick over his Roa, about to be a decent champion. It does feel like we're at a bit of a opportunity maybe for the side of Pillars. You know, you got 2 items stacked up on the Kassadin. You've got the Shinzao 2 items. It's a nice time to fight, but the top lane play is not looking good for B-Morse. But they think better of it. Yorick does have flash. He does have reinforcements on the way as well. They didn't see anyone bot with the Victor. FaZe doesn't have TP. Maybe not a place you want to throw right around the big purple worm. But Huncho wants to fight. You can see it. He's audaciously charging, and his chains connect onto the Nami, and there's not much Lucian can do to save her. Hey, I'm Kyle. Now 4-1 on the Kassadin. Kibble Muncher going to steal away the Shinzao ult, but now Maiden summoned up to keep the push up in mid. She can't be taunted, but she can be killed. But Kibble actually going to continue going aggressive. But, I mean, there's plenty of team members around on the side of the Pillars until, you know, the Yorick goes a bit too far. B-Morse thought he could punish the overextension, ends up dying for it. FaZe now maybe taking the role of super sub. 5-1 on the Victor. He's got a lot of melees that he can deal damage to in these fights as long as he can stay alive, so we'll see how much work FaZe can really put in. 1:40, 100 seconds until an important soul fight. 2 items are there across the board for pretty much everyone, but the Lucian is on 3. And if he finds a level 9 Karma, he will do that. Yeah, especially with Karma off the Rift. We'll see them be able to move in, play for vision around this soon-to-be spawning dragon. Definitely looks like they are willing to just go for soul, not play games, not say, oh, we're going to maybe trade Baron if force you guys to soul and play for towers and sides. Just get the soul, just get the dub. Play while the Lucian is strong, look for your fights. McHale's also finished up on the Nami. So Chains of Corruption, one of the really only forms of lockdown that the side of the Pillars have, will be a moot point. Stand United down for now as well. They're going to deal with the Maiden in bot side. Ham Kyle TPing in. The Maiden will be taken off the Rift. They know Ham Kyle is around, so they play with a bit of patience, but it is the Pillars wrestling control of the pit. FaZe and Lil Mac fighting over mid priority. Ham Kyle wants his angles. We're going to have a TP in. Pretty safe TP from the Shed, but now Steel Destiny might be caught. Ham Kyle gets some good damage with the Rift Walk. Now going to escape on the Blast Plant. FaZe wanting to make his entrance. Doesn't find too much, but Ham Kyle now very low. Here comes Kibble Muncher. Chain User flashing away, but Huncho soaking up damage until he falls. The Arcane Storm and the Victor just mowing him down, burning through that Xin Zhao, and opens up a big opportunity for the Soul. There will be no Smite Steel. There will be no Guma Yushi Arrow. But there might be a kill onto B-Morse. He does have Ham Kyle still around as there's a flash in from the Kassadin. He doesn't get it. Doesn't get enough damage. And now the chase down from Dr. Patient from the Victor slows. The double taunt, the double drop. As here comes Kibble Muncher. He'll steal away a single Rift Walk to continue the chase. And the Kibble Crunchers are looking very nice here now. A modest 2.5k gold lead, but Ocean Soul, big lead on their AD carry. The gold is exactly where they need it to be. Huncho watching in desolation as he goes for a fight against Ocean Soul Silas with Riftmaker and, perhaps more importantly, a Victor behind him. No chance for Huncho to play the game. It started out a bit promising for the Xin Zhao. It has fallen off the rails, and the Pillars are starting to let the theater collapse around them. Dr. Patient getting the top lane tower. The strong point of B-Morse, I mean, it doesn't matter how much he can do in sides, how much gold he's collected. He is not going to be as useful in fights as a Victor, as a Shen, even. As Ham Kyle has to Rift Walk defensively. And they're just going to start up... Oh, they're just going to start up the fight. Xin Zhao is dead. Will just now spawn onto the Rift. Chain User is going to go poking around, but they should easily be able to turn. Beautiful Aqua Prison. FaZe laying down the Death Ray and goes godlike. Nasher secured as Ham Kyle trying to poke his head around. He's just going to have to Rift Walk away. Cole now going to open up with the bullets. There's a flash from Little Mac. Ham Kyle not able to respond. Loses his Seraphs. As Kibble Muncher trying to assert his dominance up here against Huncho. As oh, there's a cancel and a flash in from Cole. He's now on a rampage. Definitely feels good for the ego. And, you know, there isn't a lot of opportunity for the side of the Crunchers to lose this game. Doesn't feel like that worth it of a flash when you are the lead of your team for the most part. As Ham Kyle is going to try to do something. He's not level 16 Kassadin. And they're not really going to be able to play through side lanes because the enemy team is coming through their base. So Yorick can try to do what he wants against that Victor down there, but they are losing recipes. They're losing inhibitors in the mid lane. The Sylas now stealing away the Xin Zhao ulti. And, yeah, I mean, there's no great tools of engage. It's really just Chains of Corruption. It's really just Rift walking in as you please for Hayam Kyle. It'll be hard for them to pin anyone down to start a fight. Hayam Kyle going to evade the taunt, and now Dr. Patient has to play it patient. But here comes Cole with the culling. Does a ton of damage. Huncho has to use the Crescent Guard, but so does Kibble Munchers. He goes in for a 1v3. We'll think better of that next time. But Lil Mac does die to the Arcane Storm. FaZe able to push forward with impunity. Definitely feels pretty safe here on the Victor. He'll take a recall, has TP up and ready to go. But Hayam Kyle wants to start off the fight. He's taunted up and just going to get eviscerated by Cole. Kassadin forced to retreat. He's not level 16 yet. And even if he was, it is a very, very difficult uphill battle for Hayam Kyle and for the Pillars. Super minions pouring in through the mid wave, soon to be coming in through the bot wave. An Elder Steal in 80 seconds is maybe all we have to look forward to for the side of Pillars for a way back into this one. You know, maybe if this goes long enough, you feel good about the on-hit Varus. You feel good about a 3-mana item Kassadin without Actualizer. Maybe you eventually feel good. I can't say I'm too informed on Kassadin builds, but Malignant's third seems a bit weird when the options include Actualizer and a hat. And he's like Rift walking for some damage onto Dr. Patient. Elects to play for the wave instead. Here comes the Death March as Kibble Muncher just goes aggressive again, steals away the chains, is going to be chained up himself, but has the Zonias, and that is a luxury that B-Morse does not have. Now into backline goes Huncho. They get a massive shutdown, and Kassadin has maybe arrived, but so has the Victor. The Arcane Storm's going to get reset in, but he's hopped on top of Huncho and Hey, I'm Kyle, just taking it to him on the backline, letting Little Mac continue to pepper them away with the autos. Hey, I'm Kyle now getting down very low. Dr. Patient trying to flash in. Will find the killing spree as the Kassadin, maybe the Malignance, is the best thing in the game. Maybe it's a key to success. It is a 4-for-3 fight Elder on the map. Lil Mac gonna get some mana back on those fruits, but FaZe is going to try to disrupt them. There is a super wave in bot. FaZe going to poke away with a death ray. Huncho trying to keep him away. Now on top of the Victor he goes. Xin Zhao getting a bit low, but wants to continue the fight, looking for another knockup, another Sundered Sky proc, and Huncho is actually going to go down to the GA as the burst is there for FaZe. Now the Gravity Well is going to find the stun, and Xin Zhao thought he had the 1v1. He loses it. His Varus is losing a 1v1 to Elder, and all the hope for the Pillars evaporates in an instant. Elder now being wielded by the Kibble Crunchers. To be careful not to say Munchers. And a TP in from Dr. Patient. He does not care about this Kassadin. Chain user now maybe in a bit of trouble as Kibble Munchers is going to show him how to wield some chains. Hayam Kyle goes in for the backline, but he gets immediately blown up and executed. FaZe is legendary. 10, 1, and 6. Gets a critical kill onto Huncho. Opens up the door for Elder. And they kick down the door for the game win. They'll even get the ace At the end of it all, it is 2-0 to the Kibble Crunchers. Really nice stuff there from a side of the Kibble Crunchers, getting their first match win in DMV Rivals 2026. Now at 1-2 in the Swiss stage. For the side of the Pillars, they played with their full lineup, was not good enough. They are still searching for that first match win and now down in 0-3 here at Swiss. Need to get some good rhythm going, need to find something to hang their hat on here. Or it can get ugly real fast. That is going to do it for us today. Tomorrow, We Heckin' One takes on the Inch Brigade, and Soy Kiddo Predator Slayers take on Hank Whittleberg to wrap up week number 3. 8 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, respectively, for those matchups. Be here on the DMV Rivals channel. Donate to the prize pool. We will see you guys on the next cast.